Hi, everybody. Hopefully, there is a few of you out there today, and I look forward to talking to you. And hopefully, if you're out there, you'll put something in the question and answer box at the side uh, and say hello and welcome anyway to the program. So we'll just wait for a few minutes for different people. But while we're waiting, I'd like to just talk to you about what spiritual expansion means, what it means to me, and what the series is about. It's going to run all through November, and each week we'll be discussing something different. And hopefully, if you have some questions and queries, you'll put those in the question box for me, or send me an email, lindawoodgate@live.com. And spiritual expansion to me is probably about the invisible world. It's about the inside of you, the also what is around you, the invisible world, maybe of your mind as well, and how your mind thinks and how your mind gives you information. And so the spiritual expansion part is how to discover you, how to discover the invisible world that's inside you, how to use it, where to use it, and how you can connect with that easily and effortlessly. So that to me is spiritual expansion, and connecting that with your everyday life so that you can actually feel good. The objective being that you feel good about yourself and feel enjoy all the time if you can. But being human, maybe we can't. So if you're out there, I'd love you to ask a question or just say hi to me in the box to the side. On your on your screen to the top right hand side, there could be some little squares, and if you press on those, it says Q&A, and your screen will change so that you can answer the questions, hopefully. And welcome to you all. So this evening's session is about the energy centers. So what I'd like to do is just talk to you very briefly about the energy centers that are through us, and then maybe do a little meditation, relaxation, visualization, whatever you'd like to call it. And if there's any questions, then we'll answer them then. And finally, just a few things for you to think about at this time with all the changes that are happening, plus, of course, the stress of working towards the celebration time in December, which causes a lot of stress for a lot of people in so many different ways, whether it's to do with the money, family, relationships, putting families together that would not normally be together, or families that are really excited to be together and actually looking forward to spending time together over the festive season. So let's talk about your energy centers. And so really, if you look at the energy centers, you are a rainbow. And if you think about a rainbow, when you put all those colors together, it becomes white or clear. And that's the energy of you. So if you put all those energy centers together, that's what would happen. And there would be in each cell, there is, in the 60 trillion cells that make up you in your community, the 60 trillion cells, in each cell there would be some energy of some description. So I'll just see there's a question come up. Sorry. Lovely to hear from you. Thank you. That's from Trish. Thank you, Trish. Nice to hear from you. And so, okay, let's start with the energy centers. We're going to start down the bottom. And really, I haven't done any graphics for you because I really want you to use your imagination and your sense of feelings, etc., as we go through them. So if we start at the bottom one, the red one, it is just below your belly button and your sexual area, I guess, and your legs, which is red. It's a very deep, mostly deep red, and it's a very grounding color. And this particular energy center is the one that, let me just go back a bit. Some of the things I'm going to talk to you about are from many different books of many different philosophies and feelings and belief systems about energy centers. And this is a very basic one. I'm just going to talk about the 7, not the 21 or the 8th one or any of those or any of the smaller energy centers at this time. So some of these things will be from different books and different belief systems, etc. So you take on whatever you like, and also might interest you to actually do the research for yourself and find out more about them. So anyway, going back to the red one, they say we change every 7 years. So that applies also to our energy centers. And so the red one is 0 to 7. And that time we actually learn more in those 7 years than we ever will again, any multiples of 7 years. Incredible, really. Besides learning to walk and talk and be in an environment, we learn all things about taking on information from our senses. So it's not just about what we hear, it's about what we see, what we taste, who are the influences in our lives at that time, who is the person that's around us most of the time, the information we take on board by the tone of voice, by where we live, by the environment we live in. And when I say environment, it's everything around us, whether it's family or not family. The type of people that come into our lives truly affect us in that time. And of course, we learn to walk and talk and all the other things as well. So the base energy center is the storehouse of all those things that we learn, all those things at that time. And that becomes our very strength. That is our earthing of us. That is our grounding. That is everything that we refer to. Because from 0 to 7, we actually have no particular discernment. We're like a little sponge. So we take on board a myriad of information at that time. And so that becomes, if you like, where we were, where we actually react, respond, all those things from that center. So moving up from that center to the next one, which is orange, is our sacral center. And that is 7 to 14. And you can imagine the type of things that happen to you from the ages 7 to 14. And this is how we relate to ourselves and how we actually interact with ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. And as I say, the color is orange. And this is where a lot of our interaction with the world and how the world treats us is also stored in there, whether we feel good about ourselves, not so good about ourselves, and things like that. And I'm just going to put my glasses on to make sure I don't miss anything, really. And this is the relationships with our bodies, etc. And so, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, otherwise it's going to take too long. So the next one is the solar plexus, and that is the yellow center. That is our tummy. That's where our fight or flight, or the butterflies in our tummy, is how we see the world, really. how we view the world. And probably the first time that we discover the opposite sex, or discover boyfriends and girlfriends, and the butterflies, the reactions to our world as it is there. And our fight or flight or freeze it all sits in there as well, in our solar plexus. And for some belief systems as well, that is where our past lives, if you believe in past lives, that's where it all sits, in that particular center. And it's also some of our vulnerability is there because of the fight, flight or freeze. And so sometimes we actually have a little tummy there, if you like, as well. So that's the solar plexus, or the yellow center. And I'm moving on very quickly up to the next one, which is the heart center. Now it's in the center of our chest. It's not to the left where our heart is. And our heart center is from the age of 21 to 28. And that is a time, if you remember, of a time when we learn maybe about heartbreak, heartache. It's all about the wonderful heart feelings that we have and that we experience at that time. So put my glasses on again. This also is the bridge for us between the physical world and the spiritual world. And as I was saying, 21 to 28 is where we discover who the love we feel, unconditional love, or what we perceive love is, and how it is, where we have emotion and love and compassion, and the area of balance. So when we talk about the balance, we have 3 centers below the heart and 3 centers above the heart. So it is the connection from the earth side of us and the spiritual side of us, or the invisible world side of us, the top half, so to speak, really. So that's the bridge between the two, really. And it's good to be aware of the heart center rather than the heart. I remember a long time ago, lots of spiritual healers were actually healing from their heart, which weakens the heart, rather than using the strength of the heart center. And then we move on up to the throat center, which is a beautiful sky blue. And the years are 28 to 35. And in those years 28 to 35, we start to feel a bit more confident about who we are and what we are, and we start to voice how we feel about ourselves or how we feel about particular situations. We start to feel more confident about who we are and what we are and where we are. So we start to actually really activate this center, this sky blue center. And we start to think about what we're doing, and having an opinion, I guess, from that particular center, our communication center. And so we start to theoretically communicate a little bit better about who, what, where, when, and how is what we are. So moving on just up again to the forehead, the brow center, which is a beautiful dark blue. And sometimes these energy centers do change color, but this is the base of the colors, really. And that is between the ages up to 42, 35 to 42. And this is where sometimes we start to question, what are we doing here? Why are we here? And our intuition. And maybe we start thinking about, my gut reactions, are they right? Is my intuition the right way to listen? Is that the place I listen from, or do I listen to my mind? There are so many different ways of seeing the brow center, and the brow center is the expansion of us getting into the world of the unknown, I guess, or the world of our intuition. I mean, intuition is one of those things to me that sort of, let's just say, you suddenly want to go for a swim and you just think, wow, that'll be fantastic. And you just want to go in for a swim. And then suddenly the other side of you kicks in and says, oh yeah, but you didn't bring a towel. So to me, the intuition is the sort of the nanosecond that comes in before the practicalities of life hit you, really. So that's that. And then moving on to the crown center right at the top, the purple, beautiful purple, 42 to 49. And one of those really is, in some circumstances are called the year of the little death at 42. Because by then we're going, what are we doing? Why are we here? What are we doing? Who are we? And there's things like the midlife crisis that people talk about. There's also people that sometimes, you know, they've played squash all their life and then suddenly they just drop dead. And they're in the middle of their 40s, and to us as humans that they shouldn't really be dying yet. So this is the question of, are you on the right track? Are you actually doing what you said you were going to do? Is your soul's journey happening? Are you in a relationship that really doesn't anymore? Are you in a job that doesn't serve you anymore? Are you beginning to think that there's more to you than what you've been told? Maybe there's more to you than what anybody told you about you. And you start to believe that there is something else for you. There is some other way of living, a different job, a different way of living, a different way of being. And we are so caught up sometimes in a lot of doing that maybe we forgot about the being. So this is a time of questioning so many things. And in some belief systems, if you're not on your soul's journey, this is the time that you are recycled to start again, or be again, or whatever way that works. So that's really just an incredibly brief summary of some of the things about the energy centers that run up through the center of us. And you heard the energy centers, or sometimes they're called chakras. And chakra means wheel. And if the wheels are turning, then there are, with those energy centers, our whole insides, you know, our whole digestive system, our whole functioning of our heart and all the other organs that we have inside our body can be affected if those wheels aren't turning. And if you imagine them, the wheels turning one way and another, so they actually clog into each other, if you like, just like you see in a clock, really, that they will all work together. And the idea is, when they are working together, you feel good, you feel bright, you feel steady in what and where you're going. And we're going to do an exercise in a minute. But if you think about it, sometimes, you know, people live in their heads and their world is in their heads. And they're not actually thinking about, not actually being in the moment, as we talk about. So far in their heads, they've made up a story. And when that story doesn't happen, then they get concerned. And why like that? And we sort of get a bit of angry about that. And so the idea of this little exercise I'm going to do with you is to balance your energy centers, so that if you can do this every day, you start to discover how balanced you can be and not react from a place of hurt or out of balance, really. And so, and then you become much more of a response style person and much more balanced than the observer of life out there, rather than getting involved in everybody else's emotions that run riot around you. And really, it's not, you know, if you like, it's not your job to get involved in other people's emotions. Your job, really, believe it or not, is to take care of you. And if you take care of you, then the ripple effect around you is so much more pleasant for everybody concerned. So what I'd like you to do now is just take a moment and take a breath. I've given you lots and lots of information at this time. So I just want you to take a breath and just close your eyes and just be aware of your breathing and just be aware of your body. Know where your body is sitting quite comfortably at this time. And I want you to imagine now, imagine that there is like a single thread out of the top of your head. And as you reach up, follow that thread, reach up way, way, way beyond the stars, way, way, way up there to where that single thread is connected. And see that energy and feel that knowing. I mean, you may sense it, know it, whatever works for you. I'll say see it, but you may sense it, know it, feel it, whatever works for you. So imagine now, use your imagination to bring that energy down through the top of your head, down through your spine, down through the back of your legs, and down into Mother Earth. Just see it going down, down, down into the earth. And now mix that with earth energy and feel that earth energy mixing together and coming up through your legs. So as that energy comes up through your legs, just see it in your red center, which is just say that it's round like a wheel. And feel that energy coming up into that red center. And just filling it to whatever is appropriate for you at this time. Just allow it, just to feel that energy filling up that wheel, that feeling, that sensation. And as it fills up that red center, just move it up to the orange center, the next center, which is around your belly button. And just feel that energy, that universal and earth energy just filling up that center. Moving on up now to the solar plexus, your tummy area, and it's yellow. And just feel that energy, that wonderful mixture, just filling it up to whatever is appropriate for you at this time. Moving on up now to the heart center, in the center of your chest, that beautiful green. And just feel the energy just moving up through as it fills your heart center. That unconditional love of that universal energy and earth energy. Move it on up now to the throat center, which is sky blue. And feel that center being filled with this beautiful, beautiful energy that allows you to communicate clearly and honestly with integrity. Move on up now to the brow center, just on your forehead, which is a deep blue, indigo blue. And feel that energy, that universal and earth energy mixing in there with your indigo blue, filling up to what is appropriate for you at this time. And now onwards to the crown center, just above your head, a beautiful purple that it is. And feel that center being filled with beautiful energies of the universe and earth energy. And so now Just feel that circuit that you've brought the universal energy down through your spine into the earth and bringing it out through your body. And feel that circuit as it expands and fills your body and fills your energy centers. And just allow yourself to experience that feeling as you feel much more balanced, alive, much more part of you. This is about you being balanced for this very, very stressful time of year. Okay, so I'd like you to take a nice breath now and just open your eyes if you've closed your eyes. And really, hopefully, feel very centered now and balanced, not fantastic, not grumpy, but just in the middle. So this is an exercise that it would be really good if you could possibly practice most days. Some days you could allow yourself the luxury of a whole 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do that exercise. Another time, maybe you only have 30 seconds or something like that to do it. But the more you practice it, the more you'll get in touch with you, the inside you, the person inside that has the intuition, the feelings inside of knowing who you are. And the more balanced you are, the more easily you can discover who you truly are without being influenced by other people, which is so easy for us to do. You know, sometimes we're in relationships, whether it's, you know, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, husband, wife, brother, sister, all of those. And sometimes we feel that we have to be someone else so that they like us, and maybe it's time for us to be who we are, and so that we can love ourselves in that. And this will give us a chance to actually be inside ourselves. Look inside yourself. Look for the answers inside yourself for what you require. Looking outside of yourself means you don't trust your intuition. You don't trust what is right for you at this time. And also, maybe you're not taking responsibility for yourself. And maybe this is time to do that. Maybe this is time to take responsibility for who you are, what you are, and how you are. And don't blame other people for how you feel. How you feel, how you react, how you respond is your choice. Nobody else's. It is your choice. No one can make you feel bad about yourself. Only you can do that quite successfully at times. So I'd like you to go away and practice that. And also have a way of being conscious about talking about yourself. Like when you talk about something, say, I feel, rather than I think. Because then we start referring to the library that we created from 0 to 7. The experiences that we've chosen to put in our body, in our energy centers, as well as our body. You know, sometimes when those energy centers are out of balance, then our body will be out of balance. Our digestive system might feel uncomfortable. We might feel we might feel liverish. Any of those things. We might have a sore throat. And it may not be leading to a cold. It may just be your energy centers just slightly out of balance. So I'd like you to take care of yourself. Enjoy the exercise. And talk about how you feel. And thank you for being here. And I look forward to talking to you next week. And about stress, about this time, this festive time. So take care, and lovely for you to be there. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.